on satellite, on Freeview, on cable, on radio, on mobile, on the web and around the world. This is First at 9 on Other Derana 24/7.
Making headlines first at 9 for a polythene-free nation. The first phase to ban the use of polythene commences tomorrow. Possible first arrest on bond issue. Attorney General's Department wants Perpetual Treasury's chief dealer to be arrested on criminal charges. War crimes allegations. Minister Partli Champika is ready to shed good governance policies to safeguard war heroes. Fractions within the parties. Minister Mahinda Amaraveera admits he is also responsible for not taking disciplinary action over misbehaved SLFPers. Making headlines from international news. India's black money. Analysts claim Prime Minister Narendra Modi's attempt on unaccounted wealth failed. Bringing you news from home and across the world. This is First at 9 on Other Derana 24/7. Good evening, I'm Katharina Chang. On to your top story tonight. Now, Speaker Jayasuriya today signed the Local Authorities Election Amendment Draft Bill, which passed in Parliament recently. The move enables the Election Commission to declare a date for local government elections. The Local Authorities Election Amendment Draft Bill passed in Parliament on the 25th of this month. Speaker Jayasuriya signed the bill this afternoon at Parliament, ensuring the Act becomes law. Minister of Provincial Councils and Local Governments Faiz Mustafa said a draft bill with minor amendments to the Pradeshya Sabhas Act will be presented to the Parliament in the future.
Today is a special and historical day for the Parliament of Sri Lanka. The fight for preferential votes in the provincial council elections will be no more in the future. If this system can be introduced to general elections, I think it will be a great service to the country.
Minister of Provincial Councils and Local Governments Faiz Mustafa said a draft bill with minor amendments to the Act pertaining to the urban councils, municipal councils and Pradeshya Sabhas will be presented to the Parliament in the future.
I responsibly state that the draft bill will not be a reason for postponing elections. We can hold elections on a day decided by the Elections Commission.
මැතිවරණ කොමසාරිස් කියවීමේ කර්තව්‍යයක් නැහැ මේක දැන් රටේ නීතිය බවට අද පත් වෙනවා.
President Maithripala says the newly established National Economic Council will gather for the first time on the 12th of September. President made the announcement at an event held in Karidiyanaru area in Batiklo today. The event to declare open the Karidiyanaru In-Service Training Centre for Agriculture in Batiklo was held under the patronage of President Maithripala today.
It is unfortunate that we had to suspend the program launched for the national economic development, with the main reason being the 1.5-year-long drought. 14 districts are severely affected by it. We're providing dry rations to 800,000 families, which cost the government 3.1 billion rupees on a monthly basis. But we believe there will be showers by next month. So from October onwards, the entire country must prepare itself for food production. I will declare the first week of October as an agriculture week. I will discuss with the Cabinet of Ministers to get their approval on getting the support of all government institutions for programs to develop the agriculture sector. We witnessed that there were problems with regards to the national economic development. The agriculture and industrial sector must be developed. That is why we established the National Economic Council recently. The Asian Development Bank and the World Bank have agreed to pay most of its funds.
ආසියානු සංවර්ධන බැංකුව ලෝක බැංකුව ඒ සඳහා අපිට විශාල වශයෙන් මුදල් දෙන්න එකඟතාවය පළ කරලා තිබෙනවා.
Meanwhile, President Maithripala met with acting US Assistant Secretary of State for South and Central Asian Affairs, Alice J. Wells, at President's official residence yesterday. During discussions with the President, Wells praised progress made by Sri Lanka with regard to transitional justice, communal amity, constitutional reforms, development as well as peace and stability. She revealed that US President Donald Trump finalized the new strategy program for South Asia and the Pacific region, and that Sri Lanka is considered to be a prominent partner for the US in the region. Sri Lanka is listed for assistance under the US government foreign aid agency Millennium Challenge Corporation. President Sirisena meanwhile had highlighted government's efforts towards the reconciliation and development process in the north as well as south, despite attempts to deter these efforts by a few extremist parties. The ban of plastic products such as lunch sheets, plastic bags and rigiform boxes used to pack processed or cooked meals will come into effect tomorrow. Speaking to other Derana, Chairman of the Environmental Authority, Professor Lal Mervin Dharmasri said that alternative products such as biodegradable plastic is being introduced to the market. As part of the government's effort to promote a plastic-free Sri Lanka, law prohibiting the production, use and sale of polythene equal or less than 20 microns was passed on the 12th of last month.
In our recent studies, we have discovered that one person uses over 7 kilograms of plastic per year in Sri Lanka. As a result, the authority has teamed with a group of experts and worked towards introducing laws and regulations to curtail the use of plastic. Lunch sheets, shopping bags and grocery bags will be banned from tomorrow. I wish to emphasize that apart from these products, no other plastic item has been banned.
The chairman of CEA also spoke on alternative products that can be utilized.
We have seen a large number of eco-friendly local products that can be used to wrap food items. We have also encouraged the use of biodegradable polythene in the market. They're being introduced to the market and they will be made accessible to the public soon.
The Presidential Commission of Inquiry probing the controversial bond issuance declared today that the attention of the Attorney General will be directed to take necessary measures on handing over tampered evidence to the Commission by Perpetual Treasuries Limited. In the meantime, Senior Additional Solicitor General Dapala Dilivera stated in the Commission that the Solicitor General will direct the Criminal Investigations Department to arrest the Chief Dealer of Perpetual Treasuries Limited. Senior Executive of Information Technology at Perpetual Treasuries Limited, Sachit Devatantri, was called to the CID office attached to the Commission to provide a statement regarding the call recording system of the company, and today he appeared before the Commission. Additional Solicitor General Yasanta Kodagoda questioned him whether he was issued directives by the upper management of the company pertaining to the data of the voice recording system on the 5th of July this year. In response, Senior Executive of Information Technology Devatantri replied that the chief dealer of the company, Nuwan Salgado, handed him a list of telephone conversations of 15 to 20 calls and directed him to delete them and replace them with other calls in order to stop the Commission from getting to know they were deleted. He further said chief dealer of the company, Nuwan Salgado, is currently in possession of 3 DVDs which include data of the system prior to deletion. The Commission ordered the chief dealer of the Perpetual Treasuries Limited, Nuwan Salgado, to immediately hand over the DVDs, which included the deleted data. Senior Additional Solicitor General Dapala Dilivera stated that legal measures should be taken under the Penal Code against the chief dealer of PTL, following which the chairman of the Commission said the attention of the Attorney General will be directed to take further legal action. Senior Additional Solicitor General Dapala Dilivera then stated that the Attorney General will direct the CID to arrest the chief dealer of Perpetual Treasuries Limited, Nuwan Salgado. In the meantime, Senior IT Executive of Perpetual Treasuries, Sajid Devatantri, revealed that it is the CEO Kasun Palisena and the former director Arjun Aloysius who directed Nuwan Salgado on official matters. However, Additional Solicitor General Yasanta Kodagoda stated that since Sachit Devatantri is recognized as a witness who revealed a serious criminal offence, any influences on his profession or life will be considered a criminal offence before the law. The newly appointed Minister of Justice, Thalthatha Korala, states that the Attorney General cannot file charges based on mere allegations. Minister Korala, who was sworn in before President Maithripala Sirisena last Friday, assumed duties today and spoke to media at the Justice Ministry premises. That is why we have courts. Those concerns should be taken to courts and they are not the responsibility of the Justice Ministry. Let's see about that in the future. Today is the first day. We will take action after investigating this matter in detail. The whole nation could think that there is a delay in proceedings. However, there is a responsibility upon the police with regard to these concerns. The police has to conclude investigations and the report should be brought to the Attorney General's Department. Then only the Attorney General's Department could take action. If someone has filed a case, a court case should proceed in a manner where all allegations are proved. A spokesperson of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs today said that they were not officially informed of filing war crime charges against Sri Lankan ambassador in Brazil, General Jayasuriya. The spokesperson also said that the ambassador was called back to the country as his term had come to an end. Meanwhile, several politicians and civil activists voiced their opinions over the issue. Minister Partly Champika Ranil called the situation pathetic as people will call for proper investigations on 12,000 LTTE cadres released just after the war without proper investigations.
The government should represent him and deny allegations. Former President Mahinda Rajapaksa released around 12,000 surrendered LTT cadres without proper investigations. If plans are made to hunt down Sri Lanka's Tri-Forces personnel, we have to keep aside the good governance policies and press for proper investigations on released LTT cadres. It is a very pathetic situation, but such a wave will surely arise. Jagat Jayasuriya is alleged with war crimes just for being the commander of Vanni region during the war. Sarath Fonseca was the army commander back then. Why is he not charged? Who wants to save him from these allegations? I wonder the likes of Sarath Fonseca, Mahesh Senanayake and Travis Senaya are not charged because they have fallen in line with American policies. They are garlanded with awards and designations. But those who are against American policies are charged with war crimes. Some who put up billboards across the island saying that they saved the motherland have done nothing to tell the world that these war crimes allegations are false. International Convention for the Protection of All Persons from Enforced Disappearances was taken up in Parliament recently to sign it into law. Had that happened, Sri Lanka would have been bound to hand over citizens faced with such allegations. Fortunately, the convention was not signed. What the government should do is go before the UN Human Rights Commission and say that we have not committed any war crimes, but they will never do so. They know that if they were to do it, Tamil diaspora will oppose the government. During former President Mahinda Rajapaksa's tenure, all these countries were with us. They voted for us at Geneva against the UNHRC's war crimes allegations. Now, what has happened? This government says they won the world. The same countries bring war crimes allegations against us. Fortunately, he has completed his term and returned to the island. Otherwise, he would be arrested.
Anyone contributed to safeguard the country and country's independence will not be allowed to be punished by any local or foreign courts of justice.
The joint opposition says that local government elections will be postponed as more time is needed to introduce amendments to the Municipal Council Ordinance, the Urban Council Ordinance and the Pradesh Sabha Act. Parliamentarian Dallas Alhapperuma made the remark at a media briefing held in Colombo today.
They included new amendments during the committee stage to avoid any legal elements that are considered while presenting a new bill to the Parliament. They have blocked ways for any citizen to challenge these acts in court. We requested them to give us these amendments at least 24 hours before they are tabled in Parliament. But the parliamentary proceedings commenced at 10:30 a.m. and these amendments were tabled at 10:20 a.m. This was only the Local Government Amendment Act. There are 3 more bills to be amended: the Municipal Council Ordinance, the Urban Council Ordinance and the Pradesh Sabha Act. Think about the time that will be wasted. The Election Commission is saying that they still haven't received the necessary powers. The government is looking at a referendum here.
මගේ මතය ප්‍රකාශ කරලා මං හිතන්නේ පැය 6ක් යනකොට
They removed me from the post of chief organizer 6 hours after expressing my views. Back then, it was difficult to be appointed as a chief organizer in the SLFP.
බොහොම අමාරු වැඩක්.
එතුමාලා තාම ශ්‍රී ලංකාවේ දැක්ස් පස්සේ ඉන්නවනේ.
ඔව් ඉතා පැහැදිලි. මේ බලන්න පාට නිල් පාට.
66 සංවත්සරයට ඔබතුමාලා යනවාද?
අපිට තාම ආරාධනා කළා නැහැ.
General Secretary of the UPFA Mahinda Amaraveera says that he and President Maithripala take responsibility for not taking disciplinary action against those who have violated party's principles and agenda. He made the remark at a media briefing on the upcoming 66th anniversary of the SLFP, which is to be held on Sunday.
The SLFP Youth Front has already informed us to increase the youth representation for the local government election this time. So the working committee decided to oblige. Whatever the rules may be, an electoral system without preferential votes have been introduced. With the 66th anniversary of the SLFP, we will be creating the environment for clean politics. 2 chairs are always allocated for the consultants. If one of them doesn't come, then someone else usually sits in them. Everybody asks the same question as to why we allow this to happen. Myself, as well as the President, take responsibility for not taking action over it. We are always trying not to divide this party. But now, however, all other junior SLFP members have been complaining in a way that we cannot ignore the situation anymore. So we will have to take action against those who are responsible.
The organisation Left Centre insists that it is high time for the government to stop joking around and bring to book criminal offenders, irrespective of their stature. Its co-convener Chamira Pereira made the insistence during a media briefing on the country's current political situation with the participation of several other civil organisations.
As stressed by the Prison Army Commander and the Navy Commander, if anyone has engaged in criminal offences, they must be punished according to the law. If anyone has engaged in any kind of illegal acts, the relevant laws should be implemented irrespective of their stature. A murderer cannot be a war hero and a war hero cannot be a murderer. Justice should prevail in the country. Do not let third parties get involved in the implementation of law. Former Minister Ravi Karunanayake has been appointed as the head of the Rural Infrastructure Development Coordination process. What is this? There was a resignation drama. Following his resignation, he is given another portfolio like a gift voucher. We would like to request the good governance regime to stop supplying jokes to the nation.
It's time to take a look at other stories making news across Sri Lanka.
Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe met the visiting Vice President of Seychelles, Vincent Meriton, at the Temple Trees this morning. Anti-Saitam People's Front organised protest vigils in 50 cities across the island last night. The vigils saw a large gathering of university students, trade union leaders, leaders of several political parties and parents of medical students. The protest, which commenced at 7 p.m, caused heavy traffic along several locations. Meanwhile, 4 persons sustained injuries when the driver of their van lost control of the vehicle in Dik Ara along the Bandarwala-Badula main road. The accident was captured on CCTV.
Welcome back to the news. Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe assures that the government will change the rules and regulations relating to the gem and mining industry targeting the country's economy. Meanwhile, Minister of Public Enterprise Development Kabi Hashim also stresses that the National Gem and Jewellery Authority should undergo a revamp in order to lessen bureaucratic involvement in Sri Lanka's gem jewellery industry. They made these remarks addressing the opening ceremony of the Facets International Gem and Jewellery Exhibition at BMICH today. The 27 Facets Gem and Jewellery exhibition was declared open by Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe this morning. Facets exhibition, which commenced in 1991, is held annually with the patronage of both private and state sector and with the participation of hundreds of foreign and local exhibitors showcasing their products. Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe, Minister of Public Enterprise Development Kabir Hashim, gem and jewellery traders, investors and gem and jewellery enthusiasts participated at the event. The exhibition will be held at the BMICH until the 3rd of September.
For me, the criteria for development is trebling the foreign exchange earning, ensuring more people are employed, and also ensuring that the government revenue is not in any way damaged. Firstly, let us envisage that the supply of gems are not only from gemming in Sri Lanka, but also from outside. How can we increase our foreign exchange earnings? How fast can we do it? That we are committed. Have your proposals ready, and then we will get them together to discuss it. If the law has to be changed, it is necessary, let's change the laws. If regulations have to be changed, let's change the regulations. So we may have to look at one comprehensive piece of legislation which governs the industry.
One of the issues is the tax exemption to the gem industry has been always available. It should be given because the revenues are all foreign earnings. I believe that we need less controls and less bureaucratic involvement. I think the National Gem and Jewellery Authority has to be revamped. Funding is one of the main issues because gems are usually not accepted as collateral in banks. But right now, mining activities are restricted. Without mining, you can't have the sapphires. So we need to look at how we can do mining, taking care of environmental aspects too. But I would also recommend that we set up a special gem and jewellery zone.
The Employees Trust Fund Board will be restructuring its technological platform in a bid to promote transparency and efficiency. The launch of the project took place in Colombo today. The launch of the project to upgrade the technological platform for ETF services were held under the auspices of the Secretary to the Ministry of Finance and Mass Media, RHS Samaratunga. Speaking at the event, the Chairman of the Employees Trust Fund Board, Mahinda Madhyaheva, spoke on the necessity of a modernized system to improve ease of doing business in the country.
Through digitalisation, we hope to make collection of the Employees Trust Fund efficient, provide better customer service for our members, make services for retirees much easier and make developments in the overall process. This project will be revamping our 25-year-old IT system together with ICT. The ETF collects 1,900 million rupees per month, where employers contribute 3% of the gross salary of their employees' monthly salary to the fund.
On to stock market now. Sri Lankan shares were flat at the close of trade today as gains led by industrial and telecom counters were offset by losses in stocks of manufacturing companies. We now have the daily market update with Imeshi Fernando from the Colombo Stock Exchange.
The market capitalization at the end of the day was 2,897.74 billion rupees. Top 5 gainers of the day were Blue Diamonds, Non-Voting, Kahawatha Plantations, Bearable Resorts, Mala and Phipps, and Blue Diamonds, while the top 5 losers were Atom Investments, CIC Holdings, Renka Holdings, CIC Holdings, Non-Voting, and Palm Garden Hotels. Today's foreign purchases were 390.61 million rupees and foreign sales were 461.16 million rupees.
Let's now take a look at how the Sri Lankan rupee traded against other currencies during the day. Analysts claim that Prime Minister Narendra Modi's attempt to clear out India's unaccounted wealth has failed as per annual reports of the Reserve Bank of India filed yesterday.
The overnight ban of 500 and 1,000 rupee notes as an act of demonetization was implemented in November 2016. According to reports by the Reserve Bank of India, the country has received a total of 15.28 trillion rupees, adding up to 99% of unaccounted wealth by June 2017. Indian Finance Minister Arun Jaitley, however, had a different view to that of analysts.
Some people who have an inadequate understanding of how to tackle the problem of black money were confusing the demonetization exercise merely with how much money comes back into the system and how much does not come back. That was never the real object of demonetization.
Starting off with cricket news tonight, Sri Lanka staring down the barrel against India in the fourth one-day international, with the visitors setting a target of 376 for the Sri Lankan team. The match is currently underway at the R. Premadasa Stadium in Colombo, with the Lions currently on 190 runs for the loss of 7 wickets in 37.5 overs. Earlier, Rohit Sharma and captain Virat Kohli scored centuries for the visitors.
India won the toss and elected to bat first. Sri Lanka's prospects looked good very early on, with Shikhar Dhawan leaving for just 4 runs. That's as good as it got for the hosts, as Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli put on a 219-run second wicket stand, with both hitting tons. Sharma posted 104, while Kohli fell for 131 off the bowling of Lasith Malinga, helping the paceman to become the 4th Sri Lankan player to reach the milestone of 300 ODI wickets. Lower down the order, Manish Pandey scored 50, while MS Dhoni remained 49 unbeaten. India batted out all their 50 overs and amassed a daunting 375 runs for the loss of just 5 wickets.
On to your weather forecast for tomorrow now. We can expect heavy falls of about 150 millimeters at several locations in the Sabaragama province and Kalutara districts. We can also expect intermittent showers in the northwestern, western and north central provinces and in Kandy, Nuwara, Galle and Mathare districts. Let's now take a look at your city by city forecast. And before we go, we'd like to take you to Spain, where over 20,000 people gathered for the Messi battle, famously known as La Tomatina, in the small town of Buñol. Partygoers threw 160 tons of overripe tomatoes at each other in the epic food fight yesterday. Thank you for joining us and have a pleasant evening.
Bringing you the news and information 24 hours a day. This is Sri Lanka's premier news channel, Derana 24/7.